What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another wonderful episode of The Dice That Bind Us. I'm going to get yelled at today, but before you watch that happen, make sure you go and check us out on all our socials. We've got a Discord channel. Obviously, you're watching us on YouTube, so feel free to hit that bell, subscription, leave us a like, comment, tell us what you like, what you don't, yell at me. I love getting yelled at. It's great. Obviously. And, check us out on Instagram. We got a TikTok, funny stuff going on there. And this is going to be a super fun session. So buckle in and let us know what you think.
Brief recap of what happened last week. Stuff happened just doesn't cover what actually happened last week. There was a lot. First role play session in well over a month of recording our time. And, things got intense. You had just wrapped up the battling Asmodeus, at which point, through conversation, several things were learned and acknowledged. You all learned that Lysander and assumedly Ivan had been helping you all, or in theory helping you all, by gathering artifacts that Xerxes was trying to collect in order to bring them to you, along with Zephyros, the cloud giant that you all had met in a far-flung era, and that our audience members met twice. On top of learning what Lysander and assumedly Ivan were up to, there was a lot of discourse about what happens next. There was a lot of decision-making about Lysander's fate within the party. Almost everyone in the party was convinced that the best course of action was to leave Lysander alive, be it because of oaths to return him to his family, be it to be used as a tool in the upcoming fights, or for other personal reasons, whatever they may be. Sort of twist of fate. The person that had reservations was Tepartos III. In the midst of this decision-making, and as everyone was trying to figure out a way to get home, a shocking revelation came to be as it was revealed that Ivan was in fact not Ivan the entire time. That Ivan was in fact one of Ivan's familiars, Tizer, dressed up in a cat costume. For about a year.
I'm still mad about that.
In that time, the real Ivan had been progressing his way up the ranks in hell itself. And after a shocking twist of fate to everyone that was far planned in the far-flung past that we had discussed for just so long we had this planned out, Argus had declined the contract from Asmodeus at the end of not last week, the week before. And there it appeared on Asmodeus's desk, where Ivan happens to be standing in the right place at the right time to then assume the role of Asmodeus and become the king of hell.
As Coda likes to say, we take those.
Yeah. The Ivan revealed that there was a brain worm that was doing some things, ultimately never led to anything.
Did cause some stress.
It caused some mild stress, and I will take that. But also, Ivan opened a portal back to the lair. Most of the party, after saying their closing lines in this conversation, went back through the portal to the lair to take a moment to process everything that was happening. But in these last moments, Tepartos made a choice and attempted to kill Lysander on the spot. And through a very, very close initiative roll, Ivan was able to save Lysander and get him to safety. And that is when a long not heard voice came bearing down onto one Tepartos III. The voice of a half-orc gentleman by the name of Soup, who had watched all of this transpire after the portal had opened.
We just didn't look gently to our left.
And after a quick scolding, told Tepartos that they needed to talk and figure this shit out. And so as we joined back into the world and into our current moment, normally, this is where I would say the world is yours. But for now, the world is still very much mine. Tepartos.
Yes.
We rejoin you. Sitting in Soup's room, what is going through your mind right now?
This is about to be a very uncomfortable conversation. I think I'm sticking by my decision, and I understand Soup's disdain and disgust. I don't fully disagree with it, but I did what I did for a reason, and having to come to some sort of common ground with this friend is going to be very painful to figure out, and I'm not looking forward to it.
A few moments pass. It's not long, a minute or two at most. When you're dealing with something of that nature in your mind, it can feel much, much longer than it actually is. The door opens, Soup walks in calmly, seemingly having taken a couple breaths before coming and speaking to you. Shuts the door. Soup's room in the lair is very similar to a place you'd seen before. Small forest, small wooden cottage, nothing fancy, very plain. But you see a cave off in the not too far distance.
Something similar to outside of Nightstone.
Very. Soup walks in, shuts the door behind him, takes a deep breath, much like you just did. He's looking down, looks up at you. Be honest, I don't even know where the fuck to start. I'm going to run on the assumption that you don't realize that y'all have been gone for 6 weeks. I'm also going to run on the assumption that you don't know that the world is falling apart at its seams.
That one we had a better concept of.
So imagine my surprise, as well as many others' surprise, when a random portal into hell opens up. And there's the team that we've been searching for weeks. All of us just over the moon to see our friends. I come in to give you the greeting that you so properly deserve. We were saved. Imagine my fucking surprise when the first thing that I see coming from our supposed leader is him trying to put down someone that he called family. No, I get it. Lysander left, pursuing his own goals, whatever the fuck, but he's back now. I don't even know the damn story, but I don't know. What I do know is that this shit is bigger than any of us and our petty fucking squabbles. You've always been a sensible man. So you want to tell me what the fuck changed that?
I do not blame you for any of this reaction.
That's not what I asked you to do.
Oh, I know. This is not about petty squabbles. This is not about personal injury. This is not about me trying to get back at somebody. Soup, I am currently trying to be a reasonable man looking at the fate of existence dangling on the line. As you say, I am very aware that the world is falling apart at the seams. Xerxes and somewhere the body of Dandelion is at the heart of all of this. And after conversations you're having in hell, revelations about Ivan has now become the king of this, and they were working with Lysander, trying to find us artifacts and not being sure whose side they are on, effectively being people with incredible amounts of information, influence, and potential danger, not able to commit to something that, if turned the wrong way, could be the linchpin in taking out all of existence as we know it. I am being crushed by the weight of the decisions of the world on my shoulders, and I saw the weakest link in our change. I saw that link as Lysander, as a person who would not commit to what it is we are doing, and who is dangerous enough, who, if left alive, has the potential to undo all of this.
All right, so let me just clarify. World's ending.
Yes.
Need the power that lies in Lysander.
Yes.
Weakest link, blah, blah, blah. I don't know a whole lot about how it works, but your assumption was that if you killed Lysander, that power would go to you?
Yes.
What the fuck makes you think that that decision would have made you worthy of more godliness than you already had?
Oh, I'm not worthy of anything. I don't think worth has anything to do with this.
That's how those powers transfer. I've been around for those conversations.
Something about mine feels different.
Sure, they're all fucking different. Some of you glow with smoke, some of you glow with sparkles. I don't really care.
Soup, I can take the
Do you know what
essence
you
of the power
do?
of anything that dies by my hands.
Great. Fantastic. You would have been a Tepartos with a little bit of Lysander inside.
It's not
What would have
about
happened if that power didn't come to you? The actual deitic boomstick. What if that didn't come to you? You would have killed Lysander for nothing.
No, I would have killed a potentially dangerous political operative
Do you know what you do to the weakest
to
link
keep
in the
them
chain?
from the other.
You reinforce it. You repair it, and you make it stronger. You don't eliminate weak links in a chain. All that does is cause other weakened links. I get that you were making the decision that you thought was best, and I don't blame you for that. I've never been in a situation where I've had to do that. Not at this level. What I do know is when you're going to battle, to war, you don't kill your own fucking soldiers.
We don't know if Lysander is our own fucking soldiers, Soup. I
So
don't
then
want
put him
an
next to
assassin
Garagak,
behind
and
enemy
if
lines.
anything happens, Garagak can handle it. We are fighting a war on 5 separate fronts. But you don't know anything about that. We've lost 75% of what we had.
Have we been in hell for 6 weeks?
Yes. Wherever the fuck you went after Silvery Moon, we need everyone. We need strength. When we get in there, most of us aren't going to be able to do a goddamn thing. But you know who can? Yes, you all can. You know who that includes?
Yes, I do.
Think with your head, big man.
I am. It seems as though there are two bad decisions to make, and I made the worst one, but I still made the decision on top of the shoulders of everybody, and I want it to be said, I am sorry about the last 6 weeks. I'm sorry we disappeared. We are dealing with interplanar things, and that it's horrible.
It's not your fault.
I just want to give you my empathy, and more than anything, Soup, I'm just happy to see your face.
I was happy to see yours too. You have a room full of people out there looking for answers. And basically every goddamn one of them saw what I saw, including the main reason that the rest of us are alive, and someone who gives way more of a shit about this situation than any of us do. There's a lot to catch you all up on.
I think that a briefing is in order.
Take a minute, figure out what you're going to say. Because chances are, of the people who actually care, I'm going to be the nicest. Reaches up and puts a hand on your shoulder.
If that is the case, Soup, I don't think that there's anything that is going to matter that I say.
I think if you're looking for advice, I think
I
you
very
take your
much am.
licks, you apologize. Even if you made a decision you believe in, you apologize. And you take charge in the right and proper way. Because we need someone to take charge. Kind of taps you upside the chin. Just say, right. It's good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you're safe.
So am I.
Take a minute. My place is yours.
You have anything to drink in here?
Kind of points at one of the walls of this log cabin, and you see that there's a handle on it. Help yourself.
Thank you so much.
Waltz Bartos takes a few minutes. The rest of you. News that you all are back spreads quickly.
Fuck.
Amongst the troops.
No, I was looking over my notes and I realized that I had a section to yell at Camber.
It's actually, I didn't mention this earlier. Kimber's gone. He's dealing with some real life shit. And that's our first rule here is real life first, always. No matter what. And that
Always.
should be your first rule for your home games. Make it that way. But I do think that it is apt because Harlan at the end of our last discussion did not want anything to do with pretty much any of you. So Harlan is currently with Sagrin taking some time.
They should be there.
The rest of you are, I'm not even going to say taking some time for yourselves. I'm going to say trying to. But after the initial shock wears off, and after a brief, quick snap of an order from Soup that everyone seems to take without hesitation, Spartos comes through, goes directly into Soup's room. The rest of you having scattered to your winds, as soon as Soup and Spartos are out of the room, all of you are inundated with people. Questions, thoughts. What's the plan now? What are we doing? Where have you been? What's going on? My husband's missing. Can you help me find him? We can't find the children. The world is burning. We need your help. Hundreds of people, but noticeably a few distinct lacks. Of the people that are here, you see Phil, Gum Gum, you saw Soup earlier. The horses and all of their children are scattered around.
Oh, fuck. We haven't even gotten to deal with that yet.
Nope. However, man, striking you out of character, Garagak, you haven't seen Mama Bear yet. Also, notably, you haven't seen any members of the Spartos clan. You also haven't seen Sulan. You swear you saw briefly for a moment, but none of you can really pinpoint that or where it happened, but you're sure you've seen his face somewhere around, for sure. Sagrin went with Harlan. Gunrar is nowhere to be seen. Hemlock and Timmy, nowhere to be seen. Are there any other notable people you would like to let you know that you're curious about of whether they're there?
My
Moog is nowhere to-
sister?
Moog is nowhere to be seen. Reason is around,
Okay.
but just Reason. You don't see anyone else.
The
from
crew.
Moog's.
Yeah. Well,
Anyone
would we
else?
expect Moog to be missing since she's
Oh,
King?
okay.
Sagrin's here.
Sagrin's not here, but Sagrin was here. Yeah.
Correct. None of the archdruids.
Any of the 10.
No, none of the 10. Technically,
Terrence.
no.
Damn
It's
it.
the museum body
Oh, yeah.
downstairs.
Yep. Zessum corpse? Is that who we gathered the bits of?
So,
It's like the one who had this.
Yes. Anyone else? Curiosity's sake.
So basically, any of our
The people
notable
that Argus remembers, does he
Ar-
find any of those people? Volo and all them. Argus is the only one that knows.
oh, yeah.
the robots.
Volo, Mordekainen, Tasha.
They are around.
Okay.
They are still tucked away in their small, like, hidden area in the helicarrier. And when checking up on them briefly, there is very much so like yarn lines connecting pictures and posters and diagrams and sheets and spells and just all over this room. And you can see that in a language that you don't understand, all of them are conversing and like screaming at each other and having this conversation. And they do not at any point remotely acknowledge your existence unless you speak up.
It's a conspiracy theory
Fucking
party. I'm just going to
hell.
walk away.
What did
I know.
do?
I've got
Also-
important things to do.
Allie mentioned it earlier in the chat. Bubba? Okay.
Actually, no, Bubba is not here, but you would also know intrinsically, Bubba is alive. Bubba is moving. He is here. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
He is just not here. Like your connection, like the magic between you, your spell hasn't worn off yet. That's the best way. You still know it's still active.
Because Bubba wasn't the spell. Bubba was
Correct.
the fucking
Correct.
class feature thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like that is still full in effect. You still sense that is still active. There's not a better way for me to phrase that I can think of in the moment.
Mayor of Nightstone.
Not here.
Oh yeah.
You don't see anyone from Nightstone here.
So it's basically any of our important NPCs do not exist.
No,
It's
there's a
not
lot
true.
of them that are here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, basically my whole manpower we have document is gone.
Oh, he
Yeah.
said 75%.
Anyone that we don't recognize that gives off some sort of aura of their own power. They're very confident in themselves and not looking to us for any sort of help whatsoever.
A
Several.
vibe aura, not a magic detect
Yeah,
magic
not a
aura.
magic. Yeah.
Go ahead and give me anyone except for Tapartos can make this roll. You're locked in a room.
I know.
This matters for you too, Argus, especially being like in the ship or the powder. Like you are also being inundated with people. Like that's just, you are surrounded by people at all times at this point because you are the superheroes to modern people and the supervillains are currently winning. So all of you can make perception, investigation, or wow.
Insight?
Yep. Thank you. 5 checks. One of those 3. You make any of those 3 that you wish. Big numbies, Garagag.
Yeah, it's tough out here.
That's a 31.
Damn.
18 on the dice with plus 13.
That was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Still don't know why this isn't putting on to D&D
For some
Beyond.
reason, yeah, mine's also not doing that.
D&D Beyond's not recognizing my roll 20 right now.
It's fine. Just tell me what your rolls are. I trust you.
Well, you can see them in D&D Beyond as well.
Yeah, that requires me to have it open. It's more tabs.
I rolled an Arcana check.
Plus, it's better for viewers if you say what your numbers are.
That's true.
16 perception.
There was 8 from Garagak. There was 16 perception from Rhyme. 31 insight investigation.
Yes.
31 insight from Argus. A 28 investigation from Illy.
15 perception.
15 perception. All right. So, and then we have a 26 perception from Ivan. Cool.
There we go.
Dear God,
Plus 33 tinkering check.
do you think God is in heaven because he too fears what he has created? So, anyone who got 25 or higher on your checks for whatever various characters, there are several people who stand out to you. First and foremost, the ones that I don't really have to name, all 3 of the boys. They have this air of control over them. People are listening to them as soon as they speak. They are fully assuming it, like in your absence, it looks like people have stepped up to try and take control.
They are very powerful people in their own right at this
Yes.
point in time.
Yeah.
Gum
And
Gum was
they-
level 20 when we picked him up.
Right.
Like the second time.
Yeah.
Guns.
Those are the 3 off the bat. In an opposite turn, Sagrin looked run down. If your husband went missing for 6 weeks and you didn't know hiding her hair, makes sense. None of you gather there's anything deeper wrong or in a not normal way wrong.
Hold on. We just completely forgot he was back again.
Olan is around.
I just wanted to make sure he didn't die again. He could be as pissed as he needs to be.
But when you see him, he is standing in the helicarrier bay. So Argus would be the one that kind of finds him.
I love how we have a carrier.
And you see his nose is bleeding profusely,
That's
his
fine.
ear, and you see he's standing on the deck of this carrier, and you can see that his arms are shaking, his body, almost his whole body is like trembling. And there's like a visible aura, kind of like heat coming off a city street around him.
Ugh.
And you see briefly, like it is just consistent of portal opens here, opens there, and you see like what looks to be like breath weapons of some kind or spells of some kind flying through one and out the other. You see that they are popping up all over the place, and he's sitting, and you see people, troops of yours, be them the DITs or guards or what have you, come like sprinting through one portal out of another, and is sitting. He has his eyes closed. His folio is floating above his head, and you see pages are constantly flipping one in between the other, back and forth. He looks really fucking tired, and like his body is at its limits.
I was rolling Arcana to see if there was anything I could do to assist him, even if it's just assist his physical form.
Things that pop into your mind are if Ileana has one of those potions left. A few greater restoration procs would probably help with the physical exhaustion. He doesn't look hurt, so you don't gather that like healing magic for like cure wounds or heal or anything like that would really help. Probably like a good berry would go a long way for him.
What druid would take good berry? I mean, come on.
I'm like, he looks.
I'm going to dump 2 5th level greater restorations and a 6th level. So he'll get 3 of them.
Perfect.
Uses both of my 5th level slots and my 6th level.
That's fine. He doesn't react or respond.
I don't expect him to.
You see his back straightens, and he kind of like just very briefly shakes his arms out, flicks his hands, and gets right back into it. But it looks like it helped. There are also a few new faces that you don't recognize that are also in these groups of people that are, I'll take them one at a time. The first one, there is this gentleman. He is a very tall but slender minotaur, not the same like burly, bulky that you would expect from him. He's very, very like prim and proper, slim down. You see his head is not one of a bull, but that of a gazelle. It's a very slim, horn spiraling off. He is standing, and he does not look fazed by anything going on around him. He's watching and paying attention. He is gathering. It's not that he's not interacting. You see like people are stumbling or anything, and he helps them up. You see that he's moving around and carrying things, but where everyone else looks fucking terrified, he is standing tall, prideful. It stands out in this room. There's another one. There's a halfling woman who at first you really don't see because there are throngs of people everywhere that are trying to get to you. At one point, as they're crowding up around you, you see that she hops up onto it, like a table or something in the middle of the room, and just yells out, "Everybody back the fuck off of them and give them space. They've been through it too." And you see that it clears space. Like people actively take a step back. Again, does not look stressed or tired, but like took control in this moment. Something that not many people are doing. The third and final one, to Partos.
Oh no, there's 2 of them.
You're grabbing a drink in Soup's room.
Yes. Trying to quell the shaking in my hands.
As you're standing, grabbing, you're taking your moments. There is a crack of thunder in this forest, which strikes you as odd because it's a fake forest and the weather patterns are set. And at the same time, you kind of glance over and you see a brilliant white-red light fading from inside of the cave. And you see someone kind of stumbles out of the cave proper, just soot and smoke and dust all over him. A way you've seen Argus and Gum Gum, honestly, many times. Yeah. You see he's wearing this apron. He takes it off and he's wearing like a starch white like dress shirt, like button down shirt, starch white pants that the apron covered, but the rest of it is just black and soot stained.
Wait, so the shirt's still white?
Underneath the apron, yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a perfect like cartoon apron cutout, like on an explosion.
Great.
And you see he takes it off. You're a distance away, probably about a quarter mile away. And you set it down. He sets the apron down, wipes his hands off, and he kind of gestures behind him. And you see, I don't even remember what the actual fucking D&D name is for them, but you see a Balrog walk out behind him. like crawls out of this cave, this massive demonoid shape, this fucking like massive wings of flame off the back. Baylor, thank you, Ali. But this massive Baylor comes crawling out of this cave and just kind of looks down. You see, he looks up and he's saying something again. You're very far away, and you hear faintly, but you hear it from where you are. Sorry. And you see they open a door in the face of the cave and walk through it and disappear. They shut the door behind them. The door disappears. Aside from the known individuals to you, those are the ones that stand out.
Seem cool.
The rest of you, it's pretty clear that you're not going to get anything of note done in this moment until people get answers. So for those of you, except for Tapartos, what would you all like to do as the group?
Argus took off.
Not very far. I mean, I'm on the airship.
Yeah.
And we had kind of established this whole thing became like one big room.
Yeah, so
we're like a warehouse with side rooms.
Yeah, there's like interconnecting spaces and things. So like there's probably like a portcullis door that leads off of the main like war room into like the docking bay. That is one thing of note, Argus, is you see that there have been, over the time that's gone, you see that there are circles of runes on the edges of the door here, or like the edges of the walls in front of and behind the ship itself. It doesn't take a whole lot of looking into. These are massive portal runes to allow the ship to fly into the docking bay and out of the docking bay.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, nothing crazy, but they exist now. It's not Olan just being like, okay, we're leaving now.
Right. As soon as I saw them and thought about it, it made sense. And I'm like, good addition.
But the rest of you, all the 6 of you, what are you doing? Kimber's not here.
Wait, how long have we been gone? How long has it been?
You're just asking in general or to party members or?
We're kind of just mobbed. So I guess not just a townsperson that's like right next to me.
Just out loud.
Yeah, kind of is like to the party and just
halfling woman who kind of cleared some space in the middle for y'all. Actually, let's say that you guys have all kind of reconvened in this cleared space that this halfling made, and people have kind of formed around you. That way, its party is together. Halfling woman looks up at you and goes, "About 6 weeks, from what I've heard."
Well, a lot can go wrong in 6 weeks. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's
and
too
gone wrong. It has. Oh, gone wrong has it. Oh, I'm sure somebody more important than me will fill you in. And she just disappears into the crowd.
Kind of lean over to the collector group. Who the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Don't care.
She was cool.
I think it was Ella Fino.
Right. You're all still in a mood, having just dealt with that situation. That's valid.
All you people gathered here, been waiting for us, and you want our help.
Said from the background.
As it stands, we need to regroup ourselves as a party. We have been indisposed fighting the old king of hell.
And ourselves.
It's
a little traumatic.
There were very intricate clones that Xerxes had created of us, and we are currently wiped. We are unable to field questions now. Please allow us to get a moment's rest in our rooms to gather our thoughts, and we will reconvene with Tapartos when he is ready.
Someone in the crowd just looks up at me and goes, "We don't have time."
What's happened?
Anything I say from here on is just random people in the crowd speaking to you. People are dying. We've lost soldiers. We've lost friends. We've lost families. There are demons and devils and monsters cascading through the prime material. Xerxes' forces are here. They started doing their mission. They started taking care of things because their intricacies stopped working. They are eliminating anything they see as a threat to their balance.
Yep, that's what they tried to do to us, and yet we came back.
They start telling you, they start speaking up, random stories popping around you of Xerxes' forces fighting giants, gnolls, goblins, trolls. There is an entire, like, the Underdark has been eliminated almost in its entirety.
Holy shit.
Xerxes is on ground, and they're done trying to play intricate games.
Our forces out there fighting on the ground.
Ones you have left.
Those who have remained.
Who's been in charge while we were gone?
many people. At this point,
Is it a
Soup will
collective
have
of people?
joined into the party. Having just used to watch him walk out of his room and kind of like see everyone mobbing you and kind of forces his way through, rejoining you, hearing the question from you, Tumult. He says, us, those of us that can.
Where is he,
Me,
Soup?
can you be more specific?
Tapartos.
He's in my room, taking a minute, but he's going to come out and he's going to start being an actual captain.
I just walk off in that direction.
Don't.
Not right now, Soup.
You're not going in that room.
I'm not going in the room.
You walk over.
And I stand right outside the door.
The rest of you standing in the circle, Soup looks at, says, we had to step in and fill the holes.
You
If it
all
wasn't
did the
for
best
all-
you could, it seems.
If it wasn't for Olan, we'd all be dead. They invaded the minute that you all were gone.
Makes sense.
We've been countering the best we can.
Since we were sent there by the leader, makes sense that that's when they would plan the attack.
I can
I'll
give
give
you all.
Soup a hug.
He hugs you
Say
back.
thank you.
It is a big, deep hug, just like full bore.
Yeah.
We were just doing what you taught us how to do.
You did great.
I'll give you a full briefing once Tapartos is back. That way we can all make the decisions of what to do next. He kind of raises his voice, but for now, it's not the time to think about what we've lost. It's time to think about what we can get back. So quit your asses huddling these people to work.
All right, we're full-blown gods now. If anyone can do anything, it's us.
They're kind of mad at gods right now.
I was trying to be like inspirational with the good guys. We're gonna
Oh
help.
yeah, no. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah, that's valid. That's
It was
a valid
good.
assumption. Should have read the room.
I said back to work. And he turns and snaps off, and like one person kind of startles, but they don't move. And it's the first time that since you've gotten back that Soup has told someone to do something and they didn't jump to it.
You heard him. Quit your fucking off and get to work.
They kind of they kind of like, you see there's like discourse and they're getting antsy.
I put thaumaturgy on my throat. Clear out and get your asses back to the fucking stations you were stationed at while we were gone.
All of them are visibly shaken, but there's one person, teenage girl, 14, 15 maybe, who kind of steps forward into the circle with the rest of the party. Our stations are gone. We lost. Without you all, there's nothing we can do. So I don't know what's been going on with you, but all of us were here because you brought us here. That's not a bad thing. I'm not blaming you for what's happened, but we need you all to get us back in the fight. None of us want to be standing here focusing on what we've lost.
I would love to do that, but I can't do that because I can't get to my lab right now and I've got a briefing. So
I'm sorry.
shit to do. Let's get it done.
I didn't mean to be in your way.
What do you do? What do you do?
I was a druid in training at Shadowtop.
Fantastic. Where are you in your training?
I just started casting about 4th tier spells.
Lovely bright child. You shouldn't be in this, but we all are. What were you doing here?
Shadowtop is gone. We were trying to defend it. The trees are still there doing what they can, but most of them are gone. I'm sure that Commander Soup will fill you in at the briefing. There's only about...
I'll pick the girl up and like round my neck, yell with her legs.
She's kind of like, what the fuck?
I don't
Imagine your average
consent.
teenager at Hot Topic.
Oh, I like this.
I'll fly up like above the crowd
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just say,
Fucking dropper. No, I'm kidding.
no, just punt. Just, please, touchdown. No. I'll fly up. I'll say, we've all experienced loss in this, and this is our fault. We played into the hands of Xerxes. It was a trap, and he sent us to hell to stop us, to stop all of this. But we cut a head off the snake. We killed the literal devil and put a friend in its place. We aren't losing. We will win this.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
I'm not good at that. Come on, crit, baby. Fuck me. Dude, my rolls are shit right now.
No one's taking you seriously while holding a 15-year-old girl on your shoulders.
And flying. So she's like, oh God, I haven't got the good wild shapes yet.
Would Ivan have a hood, Gergak?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
there in the circle, yeah.
Cool. As Gergak says, put a friend in the place, Ivan will look up to like the little like dance, turn the ruby rod into a crown that has like a ruby on it, pop it in my head, and like do like finger guns, like yeah.
Nice.
Should I add performance to try to help solve this?
Yeah, go ahead and roll performance and see what happens.
My poor rolls right now, man.
Since you're leading full wrestler.
Beginning to mid campaign, banger rolls.
Oh God.
Mid to
Easy
end,
breezy
dog
38
shit.
persuasion or
Nice.
performance.
Appreciate you.
Damn.
Hey, can I just add my casual plus 22 to his roll?
Yeah.
Garagak, you fly up. You finish your speech, Garagak, and the crowd seems very confident, very just full of hope. You done good, kid. You done good. And whatever happened below you is out of sight, out of mind. Don't even need to worry about it.
No,
Your
I mean
speech,
directly below
Chef
you,
kiss.
so it's in your blind spot.
I did
Yeah.
my best. It was my first chance of taking it.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
good. You're good. I loved it. Soup kind of looks up after your speech, Garagak, at these people and says, "No more distractions. I'll get them up to speed and we'll have a game plan for you. Hold tight. Hold fast. If your stations are gone, find one of the officers. They'll send you somewhere else to where you are needed. If you need rest, take rest. If you need healing, go to the med bay." And you see people scatter.
That's
Soup.
a-
That is
I'll
what I
set
said.
the little girl down.
When you set the young woman down, I hand her a metal disc, roughly this big. It's got a hole in it. Put your finger in the hole, it'll play music. And it starts playing heavy punk rock.
Nice.
Oh yeah. She's kind of looks at you and goes, "You're not bad for an old man." Takes it and walks off.
Argus is like 25.
Yep.
And he is just crushed right now.
Soup looks at all of you gathered. You all were gone. Someone had to take charge. I've been tossing out orders of people. The boys have been in field commanders. I'll give you all a full rundown, but for now, I'm going to lock off the war room, bring Tapartos out so that we can all be filled in on the same page and figure out what the fuck happens next.
I mean, leadership suits you all. I'm sorry it came in this scenario.
One more time, sorry.
The leadership suits you all. I'm surprised. I apologize it came in this sort of scenario.
There's something my grandma used to tell me when I was little. Everyone has choices in life. You choose where you go, what you do, but at some point, everyone has that moment where life makes a choice for you. You all disappearing was that moment for a lot of us. When we get in there, it needs to be, I know you all have your personal tensions. Tapartos filled me in a little bit, but we can't waste time. People are dying. So let's go get to business and get this sorted, okay? Soup presses a button under the war table, and you see full ass steel shutter style doors collapse down on all the entrances. We weren't sure if people would be able to find us. So some of the people that were working with you, Argus, helped me throw this together. Last resort. Or when I need some goddamn peace and quiet. I'm gonna grab Tapartos. Turns, looks at you, Tumult, just briefly. Business. Walks past you and into the door. Tapartos, you see the door opens. Soup comes in. Had enough time? That's the correct answer because we don't have any more time to give you.
I know.
Turns and walks out. One more glance at Tumult. It's going to take a while. Just shakes his head and walks forwards back towards the war table.
I'll put my hand on Tapartos' shoulder and say, "This will be very, very brief. We are still family, or whatever you choose to consider me from this point forward, but I no longer work for you. I will work with you. I'm not part of this fucking crew anymore."
Thank you for your service. I keep walking.
That's it.
That was unexpectedly brief.
You notice beside the war table is a workbench. I've had a few seconds.
Argus just fucking dragged it out of his room.
Yeah, I just pulled it out of my dimensional pocket. I've got shit to do. We've got shit to do. Let's get this briefing going. I'm working while you talk.
Honestly, I'm just happy that you stayed in the room. Can you blame me?
Not at all.
My job as leader of all these forces is officially over and done. I did my time. To update you on the situation we have at hand. I'm sure you've heard tidbits. Xerxes' forces decided they were tired of waiting and they invaded the prime material plane and several other planes of existence, eradicating anything that they see as a threat to the balance they seek, to the order they seek. We've lost about 75% of our soldiers, all of our forces, and we're losing more by the day. We'd established stations across the Sword Coast trying to protect key points of interest. We had Neverwinter on lockdown with Moog and her forces, Sagrin, but it was one of the first places that got sacked. Moog and Sagrin made it out alive, but not without cost. We had Shadowtop as a continued training base, area of operations on the prime material that was also lost to us. Silvery Moon was their point of entry. We haven't heard anything from anyone from that city since. We have people out there fighting the good fight, so to speak, taking on these forces as they can, bringing in more people, trying to get them to safety. We've been working with Tempest in the city of Brass, Plane of Fire, sort of a bastion for people. He's been able to keep them at bay so far, but we're not sure how long that's going to last. We currently have a medical area established there that we can get to through the door there. He gestures, and you see that there is a door that used to be to the door that used to lead into this room from the final level of the lair that she went through. The runes have changed, and it now opens to a portal that will send you that direction. We have anybody who could heal there. Spartos, that's where your family is. Garagak, we tried to get your mom to take some of the DITs there, but she blatantly refused to acknowledge my leadership and is off, as she said, fucking shit up.
Oh, Mom.
Our material is all but lost to us. That being said, we've been countering their aggression, gathering information. We know exactly where their lair is, the headquarters itself. Downside, they've moved Dandelion's body into it. If what we hear is true, he has rejoined his physical form, meaning that he is at his most powerful now. Olan has been sending our troops in for guerrilla warfare pretty much nonstop for weeks. As for the headquarters itself, they've pulled all of their troops, their heavy hitters, back home. Not sure what was going to become of you. It was yesterday or the day before that they finally shut down the operation on the top of that glacier. The people we know that they have, that they're sitting with, is that Goliath man that promptly came and rocked our shit and then got rocketed through space-time. Dianthos kind of takes a glance around the room. Kane himself and Dandelion. We've tried striking. We've tried taking out any one of them, but they're holding down 4 separate areas. If we want to shut them down, we have to take all 4 at once, and none of us were strong enough to even get close. We're going to have to hit all 4 at once.
There's no fucking way.
That's what I said. I am moving y'all now. There we go. Yeah. We have some advantages up our sleeve. Ileana's snake boyfriend came through for us after all. Some of us can get in on the fight. We're not going to be hitting as hard as y'all, but we're no joke. It's what's kept us moving and fighting thus far. But we're going to have to hit all 4 points to even get a shot.
Where are the points?
They're all in the headquarters proper.
Centralized.
Their base of operations is a ship. A ship that puts our biggest cities to shame.
That actually explains a lot.
That ship is located in the Astral Sea, constantly moving.
I know one can never find them.
Impossible to track down. Unless, of course, you have someone that gets shit done to an ungodly fucking degree.
Sulan?
He's
the only one that's been able to wander any sort of plane with that accuracy.
He's there as we speak, staying hidden, but that way we can find him, which means we can find the base. From what he's told us and from what we've gathered on our few feeble attempts to strike at the city, ship, thing, headquarters, I don't know what the fuck to call it. It's a big-ass floating base city.
Base seems reasonable.
Base works. If we're going to shut it down, we have to shut it down. We need to take out the engines to keep it moving, which is what Dianthos is guarding currently. We need to shut down the protective barriers to let more troops get in to actually be able to tackle the ground forces.
Being guarded by
the Goliath. We need to take down their planar transport. It's this massive magical device that is how they can jump from plane to escape to never be found or seen. It's their one means of escape if we shut everything else down. And that's why they put their heaviest hitter guarding it, Dandelion. And last...
So they're together, but separate.
They're all on the base, but they're miles apart.
Yeah, as if they were scattered across water deep.
That we could do. Because no matter how much noise we make, they can't take the chance of somebody not being there. So they won't leave.
Right.
Final stand.
The last piece is arguably the most important. The thing that has kept them going this entire time.
Money printer?
The essence of the god of order himself. Xerxes has been in control of the plane of order the entire time.
Yeah, they just let a twisted individual decided what that order was. They didn't listen.
If we can get the barriers down, we can get more troops in to handle the ground forces. But if you don't hit all those spots at once, they're just going to reinforce on one. And I don't think that's a fight that you win, that all of us win.
So we split up.
You have help.
How many do we have capable of fighting at the level we need them?
Besides the 9 of you, the 3 of us. Well, 9 is assuming that
Lysander.
you see why I got so upset to Partos. We need all the help we can get. We need things that can hit at this level. The 3 of us, Moog, there's a few that probably think they can. Maybe
Who are
they
those
can.
new guys?
What new guys?
Antelope, the halfling,
There's a guy with a demon in your room.
the
What?
what?
Like a big demon.
Oh. It's been a long several weeks. Minotaur, that's Loch Thwain. He is probably, aside from you lot, the most bona fide badass I've met in my entire life. I watched him take a smithing hammer, hit a giant in the head with it, send that giant's head flying off, and knock off another giant's head about 100 meters away.
Strong boy.
Strong boy. Which doesn't make it, you'd think if he was a strong guy, he would have the build of a strong guy.
Was he not super buff?
No, he's like wiry.
Cool.
I'll look at Soup and ask if confetti came out.
No confetti.
No confetti?
No confetti.
When I behead people, confetti comes out.
Garagak, literally no one physically do what you do.
And the other 3, I guess, because this is a demon.
It's a Baylor, yeah.
I thought they were attacking. Was that one of yours? Kind of looks at Ivan.
Actually, yeah.
No, let me check. Nope.
Nope. whatever that Baylor was, you would know for a fact. If it was a Baylor, you would know about it and know where it was and what it was doing and all of those things. And you have no fucking idea what the Partos is talking
Yeah,
about.
especially if it was nary 100 feet from you.
Right.
So that is actually a good point on that. Can I feel any of the other devils or whatever that's attacking the prime material? And can I do anything about that?
Point of order, the devils are not attacking.
Okay, cool.
The devils are defending themselves.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yes. So Xerxes' forces are attacking the prime material.
Okay, so Alex, while he's getting that all taken care of, Argus, while he's sitting at his work table, has a reloading rig and is loading ammunition. But he is fucking with this ammunition and trying to create magic bullets, cast spells when they hit.
Eli's gonna
that's
hover over him.
interesting.
Eli's gonna hover over and just cast guidance constantly. Just constant guidance.
I'm not even gonna have you guys roll with Illy supervising.
Yeah.
Your gun.
I mean,
can cast
it's
spells.
all on Illy. Illy just crushes this. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's the two of you. Like with Illy supervising is the thing that puts it over where like there's not even a point in rolling. Is between the two of your brains. This just happens.
So before we get into our next fight, I would like you to think about how you want me to make these work.
Are you looking for it to be a flavor of you shooting guns and having that be how your spells go off, or are you looking to
No.
like store spells in bullets and
Store
do that?
spells in
Okay.
bullets.
Easy enough. What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to use them like rings of spell storing, and it's going to be you're probably going to have to make a special gun to fire them.
I was going to augment the Dragon Blaster.
That works. But what it's gonna be is you dictate however many spells you want to put into it, and you can have other people do that for you. So like if you want to have like Tepartos pop a heal in there or whatever, it has to be from
shoot
there.
somebody to heal them.
But that's it. Like that's the thing. Now I will say for things like Power Word Heal, where you are choosing multiple targets, it's all of those effects are going to go into that one person because you are hitting with that bullet. So
A
You wanna-
resurrect bullet? Oh god.
you want to tailor what spells you choose because it's going to burn their spell slots, the spell components, all that stuff, and have it stored in these bullets.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you right now, you have 2 long rests, no fights, no anything, 2 days worth of spell slots from whoever is willing to give them up to get spells in there.
Okay.
We're not going to do that now. That's
No,
going to
no.
be on y'all to figure out in between.
And I will be talking to y'all.
There is one other caveat.
Okay.
A new BB.
I need caveats. So,
And
okay.
listen very closely.
No still wind strike.
There's a reason this is in my brain and why I already figured out how I'm going to work this. instead of rolling, like no matter what it is, you have to beat their AC with your gun to cast the spell.
Okay.
Now, for sake of fairness, it is going to be your spell cast. It's your spell attack modifier that you're using to shoot the gun to cast the spells.
Yeah.
But no saving throws, no anything like that. If you hit them, spell takes effect. If you miss, spell is wasted. Now that it counts for buff effects and healing effects as well.
Yeah.
Because if your bullet hits and glances off somebody's armor, that healing's not going to go through. So just keep in mind, that's how that's going to function. Same for later
I'm
things.
loving the way your brain's working right now.
We'll get that going. Let's get back into this for a bit because I want to give y'all everything to think about now. So Xerxes' forces are attacking the Prime Material. Pretty much everything that they're targeting is rising up against them and fighting back. So the Prime Material has its own fighting force. These other planes have their own fighting forces, are going out and doing the thing, but none of them understand what's happening to the same extent that your troops who know why they're here and what they're fighting against know.
So is Xerxes attacking all planes?
Except for the plane of fire, as far as you know. And the plane of fire is only safe because Tempest lives there. Soup continues. As for the Bay lore and the Bay lore, that's Garbanzo Bean.
Hell yeah.
That is what he introduced himself as. He showed up in the middle of when the chaos broke out, and he said, "Hello, my name's Garbanzo Bean." I'm bad at accents. He introduced himself as Garbanzo Bean. He said, "By the way, this is my friend Timother." And I went, "Timother's a fucking weird name. Don't know why I didn't say that about Garbanzo Bean, but that's where we're at. Timother is the demon fiend thing. Garbanzo, or Bonsai if you prefer. That's what I call him because it's much shorter and easier. He is a sorcerer of some kind. But like all the time, his stuff goes wrong. And sometimes it's for the better it goes wrong. Sometimes it's for the worse. But boy, fucking howdy. There's a reason he lives in the cave in my room, far away from anyone.
Is he
That is a wild magic sorcerer.
dangerous? I feel like that's
Not
a
intentionally.
good question. Okay.
Oh, not dangerous, just messy.
He's dangerous, like Argus or Gum Gum is dangerous.
So he's chaotic.
Don't stand too close while they're doing their thing.
Understood.
And to highlight that point, a big puff of gunpowder goes off.
Yeah. As for the halfling, I don't know what she's got going on. I know that her name is Samantha. I know that she is a very commanding presence. And I know that she wears some sort of pendant around her neck that she's very attached to. But I also know that she has about 150 dead Xerxes shoulders by her hands. So I'm happy to have her here.
One more question. When Rhyme mentioned godliness, you mentioned a lot of people are very upset at gods right now. What the fuck happened? Was it just normal Xerxes shit and just Dandelion himself, or
When the siege started, Dandelion appeared, this massive illusionary version of himself, visible to everyone in the Prime Material, this floating face in the sky, and declared that he, the god of gods, was about to right all the wrongs in the land and this whole fucking spiel. And that's when
Fucking hate that guy.
everything got a little wild.
but no other gods got involved?
We haven't heard
Has anyone had contact with their gods for those that, seek power from it?
specifically, no.
Lately, no.
Most of our cleric teams are running on fumes. Most of them can only connect to brief stints of their magic.
Well, that monk guy said he wanted to take them all out. Maybe trying to.
Artos, have you had any issues?
Not recently with the casting. At the same time, who knows how long I've been.
How close of attention have you paid? Pulls a dagger and slices his hand open. Fix it.
I go to fix it. I touch his hand and I try to cast Cure Wounds.
Who all is watching this intently? Perfect.
But just not fucking me. It's just like, oh, it's fine.
Oh, cool.
You cast it, and Tepartos, from your angle where your hand comes down, you feel the magic come through it, just as normal.
Okay.
The rest of you, paying fine-tuned attention to Tepartos' spellcasting, like through himself, thin wisps of shadowy energy go and lace the wounds together. Black shadowy energy.
It's gone through his god mode, not his god.
You are of a godly essence now, so you can cast it yourself.
Wait, so I can be my own deity for my healing powers purposes?
No,
When
you are.
was the last time you fucking talked to
A
your
long
god?
time. Honestly, just like full on shutting down and just like, am I right? Sophonis!
Artos, you are a level 20 cleric. Read to me and the folks at home how your channel divinity works at 20th level.
There are a lot of things on here. Divine intervention, specifically.
That's the one.
As an action, you can request your deity's aid and roll percentile dice. If your roll is equal to or less than 20, your deity intervenes. If successful, you can't use this feature again for 7 days. Otherwise, blah, blah, blah. At 20th level, your request succeeds automatically. No roll required.
But you can't do it again in 7 days.
I put him in a dilemma.
You did put me in a dilemma.
Is it worth blowing it now in the
And
just
Alex
to know,
did
or is it?
pointedly say,
You did.
we will have 2 long rests.
Yeah, no, I fully realize that if I do this, I'm not going to use my I'm not going to use this. However, I am
Just
going
gonna
to
pray.
try to reach out to her.
Make me a
I'm
religion check. Oh, wisdom check.
Just straight wisdom.
Just wisdom.
That's a 17.
No response.
So on this place, if you're here, I need to know.
You're not.
I
the
will
only
say-
one who's tried.
Technically, you heard from her yesterday, but it is assumed that it was the brainworm.
Yeah, no,
Or nary 20 minutes ago.
I think I put 2 and 2 together there. Did Soup say I'm not the only one who's tried?
We have teams of clerics resorting to using strict medical knowledge to save people.
Ilya's gonna sit down and start casting a telepathic bond.
I understand this is jumping the gun. We have more things we need to discuss, but when it comes down to it, I would like to do what I can to spend time with our clerics in the sick bays. Try to lend myself in whatever way I can.
I'm sure they'd be glad to have the help.
Lend them your power there, God man.
That's the intention.
It's possible. You all are.
Worth a shot.
Now I'm out of the loop on some things. You all are stronger than
Gods.
me again. So are you like you're just gods now?
Yes, they're all gods. Well, except for Ivan. Ivan's the devil.
Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase. You are all of full deitic power now.
I don't know what mine is. Mine is a very black blob of energy that I just get the feeling I shouldn't touch it.
But you have the potential to. You have the energy inside of you to.
I don't think that's a very godly presence. I'll tell you that much.
You know what the power. You have the power. You know?
I have silvery goop that comes out of me and hurts people.
That's
Yeah.
fucking rad.
That really hurt.
I'm
Don't let
technically one of
anybody
the
tell you
10.
differently.
Yeah.
An airship.
Holy
Look at
shit. I
Garagax
guess that is what that
correct.
means.
What?
Garagax, one of the 10.
Technically, one of the 10 is still alive inside of me.
I was Lysander, technically. You all are going to have a couple days because we need to track down Sula and get messaging systems set up to get back on track with the city.
I hate to poke this painful blemish so quickly after it being poked previously. Do we want to be at full power here with all the gods we can?
Kind of just look at Tapartos and say, for what we just said, and you said we need to split up anyway, out of respect, Lysander will be on my team, and we'll go separate from you.
We're going to need to think about this more than that.
I mean, like, just to put it on the
No,
table,
I mean-
Lysander's going to go.
Lysander has to come. No matter your
Understanding
personal.
the situation now,
Yeah.
putting away personal issues or biases. The stakes are much higher than us as individuals or anything that we might have going on. We need Lysander. Lysander will not be going to the Anthos. That's for certain.
Artos, did you just get taller? Because that sounded like growth.
Yeah.
So
Misty soup.
Ivan will take a step to the left, and there's like a small, like foot diameter portal that Lysander can heal from. It's just
Like
to
behind
help.
your back.
Yeah, it's just big enough, but like pop it in front of Lysander, so Lysander's also here in the meeting.
Just kind of the immediate, like,
a la the
Perfect.
grate in the wall.
like I'm laying in bed and this just appears over my face. Like,
Flapjack's like, oh, looks like you get to be part of the meeting. That's great.
exciting, I
Yes.
guess.
We need to figure out specifically what we're up against, do everything we can to figure it out and the best counters we have.
We have 2 days to figure out a game plan. You have, let's just lay names on the table of everyone you can take with you and where to place them. Don't worry about placing them now. I'm doing this in character. It's the same thing either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
You're not going to make these decisions now. Next session is going to be full planning, prepping, getting everything lined up exactly how you want it to be. The other thing I want you guys to keep in mind, what would your characters do? A lot of you have personal stakes in some of these fights. So I want you to keep those things in mind because we're going to role play out those decisions as a group next session. I think that is a good place to call tonight's episode of The Dice That Bind Us. Thank you at home so much for watching, so much for hanging out with us. Remember to leave comments on the video, to like the video, and toss it to your friends should you enjoy it or you think they're going to enjoy it. If you have a favorite episode of the show, send it to a friend. Be like, hey, check this out. You want more of that? Watch the rest of this stuff. Another gentle reminder, we are coming to an end of this campaign. We are getting close to the end. So keep in mind that here in the near future, there'll be a great starting off point. For now, just subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to make sure that you know so that you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. And we will see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of The Dice That Bind Us. Bye, everybody.
Bye.